was interested in art history. I mean, I liked that old stuff, and every time I looked at something, I would imagine what it meant then. You know, I would imagine being a Chinese princess, you know, wearing a certain embellished robe, or what it would have been like to be in Paris in 1920s. And then at some point, it occurs that, well, this is still happening, you know? So for me, I left the more historical and went to what's happening today, where we can be part of it, you know, where we can meet the artists who are changing the way we see the world. I worked at this museum about 15 years ago as a curator. And since then, I've worked in other museums, both as a curator of contemporary art and as a director of smaller museums. But when this job came open for the chief curator to be overseeing the creative program of a museum that I've known and loved for years, I thought, why not? People want to have a do-over. Like, oh, I had the best idea as soon as I left the room. So, you know, what's changed? I say the city's changed, but I've changed, you know, as a professional, and I can think of ways to make an impact. It's terrific to be back because it's San Diego, so there's, you know, that already is great. But to see some things that are the same, I mean, in a museum, right, the collection, you know, a collection, but then the collection's grown over 15 years. The director, Hugh Davies, who's, you know, so well regarded in the field, he's still here. So, and yet, things have changed. I mean, this city has grown tremendously, and the energy of it as a community, it's appealing. Well, I mean, the economic impact of the arts happens, though, both broadly in the community and then for the market of art. And I mean, I would have to say that, you know, getting community to buy art in their own city, it's hard. I mean, you know, you hear those laments even in Los Angeles or in New York, what we think of as larger art centers, you know, that people go somewhere else to buy their artwork. But I think all the elements of the art world have to work together to try to strengthen the community. And what I see here is very impressive. I mean, since I've been gone, we have an exhibition that just closed of San Diego area artists, 30 artists, you know, new to me, and so many of them came out of UC San Diego, or they're teaching there, or at the other universities across the city. So that fuels it. You've got to have the artists first. What do I want to change? I think I want to show off this museum for all it is, that it's both a primary patron of living artists. What I mean by that is that we bring in artists, they make works that wouldn't exist otherwise. That's amazing. But then we also are a collecting institution, and so we are telling a story of our time from the past 50 years. What's coming up? In addition to this exhibition, Viva la Revolucion, in La Jolla on October 8th, we're opening a one-person exhibition of San Diego artist Kim McConnell. So Kim has just retired from UC San Diego, but has been living in this community for 40 years. Kim McConnell's work will fill the entire La Jolla Museum. Artists, for the last 100 years, artists have been challenging what constitutes art and what you can use to make art. So artists are very interested to always have a new platform, to have a new material to work with. Social media has changed everything. I mean, for a couple of ways, you know, both for access. I mean, this exhibition, as saying, is a very international exhibition. We have people who are coming here to see works that they've only known on the internet, because the projects take place in France or Brazil or places where, you know, we may not have traveled. But you know about their work through the internet. I think art that's being made in our own time, if we see something that's a painting or that's a sculpture made out of something other than bronze, that you might feel uncertain, like, oh, I don't know how to talk about this because I didn't go, you know, I'm not an art historian. But we do know how to talk about these things because they're being made in our lifetime, right? And we do live in cities with graffiti and with decay, and we work with, you know, we're inundated by images that come to us through the media and all sorts of platforms. You know, so we can look at this and get meaning.